Hello and welcome back. This is Dr. Munjal Thakar, Similia, the Classical Homeopathy Clinic in Ahmedabad and in Mumbai. 20th of May, we celebrated the World Bee Day. Bees are critical for human survival, is what we have all understood. And interestingly, the homeopathic materia medica utilizes the toxins from the bees as a very important remedy for several conditions. Now, there is an interesting story about this remedy made from the bee, which the scientific name is Apis mellifica. And I have a very interesting relationship with this remedy, which I'm going to share with you today. The story is when I was in my second year of college. Being very idealistic then, I was trying to read the source books, which is the Allen's Encyclopedia, the Herring Carding Symptom, and the Chronic Disease. As a second-year-old kid, it was a humongous task. Each time I attempted to read these source books, I would fall off to sleep. And at the end of it, I could not remember absolutely anything of what I had read. It made no sense. I went on reading as if just to complete a task. But I was quite persistent on this as to what we will need to do, because I was convinced that the source books are critical to understand the remedy. I did not know a way. So what struck me one fine day is to take a medium-sized remedy. And the medium-sized remedy that I chose was Apis mellifica. In those days, mind you, this is somewhere around 1990, there were no computers. Everything was handwritten and manual. And I just was determined that something needs to be done about this. So I took up this remedy and I actually started writing down the symptoms of this remedy from first the repertory. I chose the most important sphere of action and I wrote down every single rubric from the Boger-Bonninghausen repertory. Then from the repertory, I thought it is important to take up the materia medica also. So I took up all the possible important materia medica, including our source books. And for those sphere of action, I literally started writing down each and every symptom. This task probably lasted for 3 or 4 days of sitting in the morning and persisting right through the day. And I ended up writing nearly 90 pages on this remedy from every possible materia medica and the source book. One would consider this pretty stupid of doing it, because I am not sure how many of us really had this kind of a venture we embarked upon. I missed all my classes and I just consistently went on to do this. And something very interesting dawned upon me. Because when I started writing the symptoms from the repertory and the materia medica, even from different locations and the different sphere of actions of the remedy, I found that there is some symptom set, mind you, not one or two symptoms, that went on repeating in each of the sphere of action. And this is where this exercise taught me something very precious. And that I found is that within each sphere of action of the remedy, within each location of the remedy, a pattern is repeating. And when you go down systematically studying each and every particular location, you start discovering that pattern. And this same pattern was seen in the rubric of our material, of our repertory in this remedy. That was the hack for me. How to study the source books started from this APIS exercise, the notes of which I still have them in my beautifully written handwriting. Today my handwriting have changed because I just type. And this is the exercise that I wanted to share with you, that make an attempt to see the pattern of the remedy of action. And if you see the materia medica like Fatak, Boger synoptic key, and Boric, the generalities section, especially of Fatak, and the first 3 lines of Boger synoptic key, and of course in the Boger synoptic key, the table of the modalities and the sphere of action, are actually bringing out this pattern for us. And I'm in so much awe of these authors as to their painstakingly studied every remedy that they have written in their materia medica in this format from the source book, discovered the pattern for themselves, and offered it to us. Nevertheless, to really understand the clinical value of these books, I would suggest that we go to the source book and do our own exercise. So this is my story and my relationship with APIS. You feel free to discover your ways. I have shared my way, and following this remedy, we went on, me and a group of my students, colleagues, we went on to study more than 150 remedies from the source book, the notes of which we still refer, we still have it preserved. So see you all. Do like this video, subscribe to the channel for more interesting things on the way.